Hey guys, how's it going? It's Danilo from the King Realty Group. Hope you guys are having a great day today. Let's talk real estate. So March is gone and past behind us, and we're going to talk about the Toronto Real Estate Board stats of March 2018. Here we go. Alright guys, so we're back at it again. We're reviewing March 2018 Real Estate Board stats, and if you're joining us for the first time, I'm just going to review a little bit of what we talk about in this video. So the first thing we do is we talk about the average price points of different housing types in the GTA, detached, semi-detached, townhouses, and condo apartments as well. We also take a look at the sales that happened in March compared to last year, and we also take a look at the months of inventory. Now, the months of inventory is very key because it gives us an idea of whether we're in a buyer's market or in a seller's market, depending on your micro market, because we do review Durham, Peel, Toronto, and York regions as well. So we're going to get started, guys. Let's take a look at the average GTA price point in March 2018. Let's put it up on the screen. Alright guys, so here it is on the screen. We have the average GTA price at $784,558. That is actually down 14.3% from 2017. But again, remember guys, we're still in March and it's still the beginning of the year. We're comparing actually to last year, and it was a peak time. Sales last year, there wasn't a lot of inventory and people were buying anything that was out there, and they were buying it over asking. Okay, that's not happening this year. However, when you compare, it looks like it's a big drop, but again, it is not. Okay, so let's keep it moving, guys, here, and let's take a look at semi-detaches. Sorry, I meant detached homes, and as we see here, we have them at 1,005,779, and this is down 17.1% from last year. Again, same sort of thing, guys. Last year we were comparing to peak numbers. It was record-breaking last year for sure, and it isn't this year, and this is why it seems like it's so low. Moving on, let's take a look at townhouses. So you see townhouses are at $638,558. That's down 9.5%. And let's take a look at condos, which again, following the same trend of all of 2017 and the beginning of this year, it's at $551,003, and we're up 6.1%, guys. Okay, one more thing, just a reminder, and I know I've said it the last few months, but I need to say it again because there might be new viewers out there. We're comparing these sale numbers to last year. At the beginning of last year, there was very little inventory and there was high prices, okay? And then the housing policy was put in by the government of Ontario in April, and that kind of changed the atmosphere of the real estate market here in the GTA. And, we've had changes since then, okay? But when we compare it to last year, this is why the beginning of this year is looking like there's a lot of drops, but the general consensus is, again, and we're going to touch on this a little later, is that in the latter part of the year, the second half of 2018, we're going to see different numbers, okay? So keep that in mind, guys, and let's take a look at the sales. So I put sales up now, and you see, guys, that the sales numbers in the GTA here at 7,228 sales in March, and that's actually down 39.5%. The drop, again, is in line with what we saw with the GTA prices. It's a drop. Last year was a lot of activity at this time frame, and this year not so much. And again, it is because of the changes that happened last year. Okay, last year was peak, and we're comparing to peak numbers. Now, this is probably one of the numbers that you're going to see in a lot of the news reports because it's the biggest drop, and that's the type of stuff that they want to show you. But they're only showing you partial information, guys. They're trying to create this, urgency, and they're trying to, obviously get viewership, and they want to make sure that readers are reading their news articles as well. So they're going to show you minus 40. And I think I saw that on CP24 earlier today, actually, okay? But it's not as daunting as it seems, and I think even Mayor Tory, he was actually talking about the fact that, hey, you got to look at the whole entire picture because we're only seeing one number here, and it kind of gives it a feeling that the market is not doing so great. But I would say that, hey, I am in the market. We're out there helping buyers and sellers in this marketplace, and there is movement in March and April of 2018, so we're okay. Alright guys, we're moving on now to months of inventory. And again, months of inventory is our indicator. It lets us know if we're in a buyer market or in a seller's market, and we take a look at micro markets. We're going to take a look at Toronto, we're going to take a look at Durham, we're going to take a look at Peel, and we're also taking a look at York region, because depending on where you live and your location, you're going to have different numbers. And so let's start by taking a look at Toronto. So let's put up on the screen here. We see the Toronto, we have 1.47 months of inventory. That actually shows that we're kind of in a seller's market in Toronto. Now, it's not the same in every single pocket, but hey, if we're looking at downtown to the east, Riverdale, Leslieville, and those type of areas, I'm noticing here that there's multiple offers. And there's multiple offers being put by buyers for these type of houses, and they're selling on that offer date 1 week later. Okay, so that stuff is happening in March 2018. Okay, but we can go to another location of Toronto, we might not have the same sort of activity. okay? But technically we're in a seller's market. If you do market and price your property right in the GTA, you should do well as a seller. Let's take a look at Durham as well. So let's take Durham. We see here we have 1.96 months of inventory. Again, when you're lower than 5 months of inventory, then we're more so in the seller's market. 4 or 5 months or more, we're more so in a buyer's market, or we're at least heading there. We're looking like in the seller's market as well in Durham. And same sort of thing. Different pockets of Durham are a little different than others. And some are going to sell a lot faster, and there's going to be a lot more ease in the type of sale that you're doing depending on where you live. Okay. Now let's take a look at Peel Region, guys. Peel Region, we have 1.81 months of inventory, as you see here. So just like Toronto and Durham, we're in a seller's market here as well. Pull up York Region here. York Region, again, we've been noting over the last few months, the trend here is that we are more so in a buyer's market, or it's more so balanced. It all depends on where you are, but I know for a fact that we may not have reached to the peak level that some of the sales that we saw last year around the same sort of time. We may not be there yet this year, which means that you can go out today, buy a house in March 2018, and actually pay less than what somebody paid in 2017. That actually is possible probably in York Region. And you know what? It's actually possible maybe in other regions as well. It all depends on the micro market. Where are you looking to buy? That is the question. Now, if you're interested in this sort of stuff and you want to figure out, okay, I live here, what's going on in my neighborhood? Or I want to buy here, what's going on in this neighborhood? You reach out to us, guys. We'll get you that information right away. Now, those were the sales stats, guys. Those were the average price points. Now, let's take a look at some of the maybe takeaways from this video and the stuff that we learned in March 2018. All right, guys. So the first thing I want to talk to you guys is that the real estate atmosphere in the GTA is different than last year at the beginning of the year. I know I mentioned this earlier in the video, but I'm going to reiterate this. Okay, last year was peak numbers, and when you see the news reports, they're going to say that there was a drop of 40% in sales, but they don't actually tell you that last year was a record number for sales in the month of March. So when we're comparing to a record number, there is probably going to be a drop. I don't think that year over year over year we're going to have record numbers. That's just not, does that make sense? It's not sustainable to kind of have that way. So just remember, guys, that is what we're comparing to last year. And if someone's out there and they're actually just seeing the news and they don't have proper guidance from someone in the industry, they may have a skewed view of the GTA. They might actually think that something's going on and it's not looking good. But the fact is, month over month from February to March, we actually went up 3%. So another interesting detail, guys, is new listings are actually down from last year as well. Now, that was expected, but the interesting part is that our new listings are actually down below the 10-year average, okay? Now, that's not too much of a bad thing, because we already know that the housing policy was implemented last year, and also in January we had new stress tests implemented as well. That was very public news, and a lot of people were asking me questions about it, so I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that still are not 100% on that and not 100% clear. But I think that, if there's not that many new listings, that might be okay, because sales aren't doing as great. And I think in the next few months, we're going to see an increase in both sales and new listings as well. And I think that's going to help us kind of balance out and have a level playing field and maybe a more sustainable market going forward. Okay. One detail here in terms of the average GTA price, it is down significantly. However, what's actually pushing that a little bit more than or what's driving that decline is a few other factors that we haven't really touched on. Now, I'm going to focus a little bit on detached homes here, okay? Because detached homes generally are our highest price point, and that's actually the type of housing that's declined the most in price. So obviously, that's actually bringing down our average price. In addition to that, guys, homes sold over $2 million in the GTA actually are 50% than the sales activities that those type of houses had last year. So, the fact that detached homes, which is are generally our highest priced housing, is a little bit lower, and also the most expensive properties, $2 million or more, there's only 50% of those sales compared to last year. Those two little factors are also aiding the decline in our average GTA price, because we know that our other properties out there, condos, townhouses, etc., they're under 1 million. But hey, the average price is really being affected by that detached price as well. Okay, so keep that in mind. And the last thing, guys, is the fact that, look, we knew that 2018 was going to have a slow start. This is something I said before the beginning of the year. Okay, this is something that was kind of, we figured this would happen in the beginning part, especially because of the new mortgage rules test. Buyer behavior says, hold on, let's see what happens, and that's what's happening right now. We're seeing what happens. But because April changed things last year, we're thinking that, April of 2018, we're going to have a contrasting thing to what we've been used to in the last couple months. And maybe in May, June, we're going to see things turn around in terms of the number. We might see some positives again. And I'm hoping that's the case because that's going to really help show you guys that what we've been saying is actually happening. Okay, so for now, guys, let's keep in mind the GTA market is strong. We're out there with buyers and sellers right now. Properties are selling. Okay, buyers are buying. Okay, it's just what they're buying is different, and the sales process is a little different as well. You can't just put pictures up and expect to sell in a week. We have to do video. We have to do 3D virtual tours. We have to do excellent photography. We have to do pre-MLS marketing as well, where we're targeting buyers before it even hits MLS. All those things are working for us, guys, and it's separating us from our competitors because you can't just go out there, take some pictures, and expect to sell in a week. That doesn't happen anymore. Okay? So, guys, if you have any other questions regarding the GTA stats, please get in contact with us, 647-931-1313, info@kingrealty.to. Really appreciate you taking time out of the day to look at this video. Always trying to give some informative information to our customers and our clients, friends and family, etc. If you have any questions, please let us know. We are here and we're open for business. Okay, thanks so much, guys. You take care. Bye now.